Now, guys, so this is a list of the things that you thought. So if you might have watched the Oscars, you saw everybody was talking about one thing or another. Either it was Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, the fact that Kevin Hart wasn't there and all that stuff. But that's not the stuff that you should have been paying attention to. There were five major things going on at the Oscars that you just totally were just letting. I mean, you saw it, but you were just not getting involved with it the way it needed to be discussed. So this is the five things that your butt should have been really paying. What was really going on at the Oscars that you guys should have been paying attention to. And let me start with let me go with the first one. So let me if I can get the graphic up. So the first thing that I noticed that was going on the actors that were really auditioning for the chance to host the Oscars. They came out. Tina Fey and them. They did a little joke about how they are not hosting, but if they were hosting, let these ladies host someday. I mean, they crushed it. It was funny. This was funny, and if this was a job interview, they crushed it. I think these ladies, all three of them, would crush hosting the Oscars. Obviously, without a host, they still ran smooth and everything. It was more focused on it, but for the pacing part of it, kind of brings your attention back to it centers yourself because without a host, our attention was kind of all over the place. It's probably why we're blowing this Lady Gaga crap all out of proportion. But with the host, we'll have something to focus us and get it moving along. If as long as they don't drag out the jokes and stuff too much, which is a probability with these three ladies because they are funny and they are great hostess. But I think they did a good job with the little joke that they did with this pose of the art of hosting without hosting. So let's move on to number two. The second thing that you forgot about and let fly through the radar. Glenn Close. Glenn Close came to like she descended from heaven and came and graced us with her presence at the Oscars. And I'm hearing that I see, and I have to look it up. Glenn Close hasn't won an Oscar. Been nominated a bunch of times, right? And this was her time. This is it. This was it. Glenn Close was gonna get it. Now everybody. So when she didn't get it, and and the person, so everybody was making a big deal about. They thought that Glenn Close was about to go postal on everybody. She even had to change out of this dress because it was very heavy. She had a wardrobe change in the middle of it because she didn't want to be wearing it. So everybody's all thinking like Glenn Close feels like she knew she had this one locked up. She wore the greatest dress in the world to get what she has been owed for decades, and once again, she was snubbed and not even didn't win. Nominated, but didn't win. So Glenn Close, you all the bomb. I love you, and you will get an Oscar one of these days. I'm sorry, just 2019 wasn't your time. So the next thing that people are overlooking is this whole thing about the Oscars letting. Did you notice that I tweeted about it twice? Did you notice that the Oscars was really cutting the time on these acceptance speeches that these actors were giving up on the stage, but the people that they wouldn't dare cut the time for was a winner of a movie with like for example Black Panther, mostly all black cast, and this is the first time a black woman has ever won for best costume for costume design and set design and things like that, and they were those the first two Oscars right out the bat. So they let them have as much time as they wanted. They got up there. They thanked God. They thanked every creature on God's green earth, and they named them all by name. And they got all of it out. Like I timed it like 2 3 minute long speeches. And the Oscars kept. I could tell that the producer probably had his finger on hovering over that play the music, play them out button, and somebody slapped them on the back of the head and say, "You bet not dare touch that damn touch that damn button. Otherwise, we gonna get in so much trouble." So you notice that there were certain movies, certain categories, mostly major ones, or heavily minority or women or whatever. There's an agenda. They got all the time in the world. Average 2.5 minutes of speaking time. Everybody else, if it wasn't best actor, director, actress, um, co-stars and all that. Those unless it was that those guys pretty much got as much time as they wanted. But everybody else, it was like the second they got up on stage and the guy was like, music started playing. Boom, right there, right off the bat. The guy was like, I just like to. Wait, I didn't say anything yet. Get off the stage. Get off the stage. This is Wakanda. You know, I mean, everybody was going getting them off the stage. It was hilarious. I timed it. One dude got like 30 seconds. Another dude, there was another category where 3 people won their Oscars because it was a group, and I forgot what the category was. It was an Asian couple. And the wife got up there and did all that speaking, thanking everybody and all that. And her dress was a little see-through. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. But the second the husband was about to get up there, the second he opened his mouth, music was like, get off the stage, wrap it up, B. And all you could see was her apologizing to her husband for I was timing like, girl, you talking too long. Wrap this up. If anybody else is going to talk, you taking the time away. And that's exactly what happened. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He was like, because he knew the cameras were still rolling. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But who knows what happened behind the scenes? What the hell is wrong with you? You talk too damn much. Every time. Even at our wedding. Yipping in, what did Martin Lawrence say? Just yipping and yapping at the mouth. Now he's going to get divorced. She's going to take it all. And, you know, he's going to get me too for that outrage. But so that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna move on to the fourth thing that you guys missed. This is probably the biggest one. My daughter and my sons even caught this because I forced them to watch the Oscars. When Stan Lee making yet again another cameo and crushed it at the Oscars, man. When my daughter and my son saw that we were honoring the memory of Stan Lee, his life at the Oscars, my daughter, Stan Lee, oh my goodness. My daughter is always the first one, but my kids, all 3 of them, I've shown them all of Stan Lee's cameos. So now whenever they watch a Marvel movie or if they see anything, if Stan Lee's image, cartoon, doesn't matter, they recognize it. They recognize the glasses, they recognize the smile, they recognize the voice. They will pick him out. Is that Stan Lee? Yes, that's Stan Lee. My kids they crushed it. I was hoping that Stan Lee would be honored at the Oscars, and he was. And the thing I was really hoping for was that reaction from my kids. And the last thing, speaking of Stan Lee, speaking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the thing that we didn't realize that, so why can't we have a season 3 of Luke Cage? It looks like they follow the comic book. Jessica Jones is pregnant, y'all. And y'all remember what happened in season 1 of Jessica Jones, right? So why can't this be a thing? Look, it's cause and effect. This is what the real story is about the Oscars. The actress for playing Jessica Jones was revealing the fact that there is a path to another season of Luke Cage or The Defenders or something. Because, that's got to happen. This is awesome. And doesn't she look great? Look, they always say this when you're glowing and whatnot. She does. Look at this. Look at the dress. Look at how she stands. Very, very regal. Look like a queen, right? Like, look at that. But I can't tell if I'm looking at the left picture or the right picture. Look. I think she's a very, very beautiful woman. I feel like with her being pregnant, that was the first thing that just popped into my head. I'm like, why can't we have a season 3 of Luke Cage? Now, come on, you got her. She's pregnant. Go out there, put her in the Jessica Jones jacket, and take some pictures, and let's exploit this thing. I want my season. I'm one of those fans. I want my happiness. Forget about what else is going on in the world, right? But that's just me being silly, though. But I just thought it was funny that was what was going on in the Oscars that hardly anybody was talking about. Everybody's all caught up on Bradley Cooper and whatnot. Those are some of the things that were really going on in the Oscars that nobody's talking about. Man, so... Whoa, hey, before I forget, am I even wearing the same clothes? Doesn't even matter. Movie magic. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. Like if you like, share if you care, comment for a compliment, subscribe to the tribe, and if you want to know more about how you can send me a message and be a part of We Got Your Mail, that's coming up right here. Check this out.